Welcome to this week's review of TNA Impact 7/12/2012. I'm your host, Larry Van Horbeck, and alongside me, as always, is Stacy Keebler. I'm in Stacy Meadows. I wish it was Stacy Keebler, but that's neither here nor there. I think Stacy Keebler will go into TNA. No. That'd be kind of cool. But we got this week's TNA, so let's get started.
Well, before the show started at TNA, we tuned in at our normal time at 8, and we realized that they started doing TNA Rewind again. They tried to do this before, and for some reason they stopped, and now they're trying to do it again, I guess. So we missed most of that, but we caught like the ending 10 minutes of it. Basically, it was just a review of what happened last week on TNA. We don't know if it's going to be a permanent thing or what, so I reset my timer on the VCR and everything to fix it up right. The show started out with a review of the Austin Aries winning at the pay-per-view, so Austin Aries is now the new champion. Woohoo! Then they reviewed the Bound for Glory series match that they had last week with Storm versus Hardy, which surprisingly Hardy won that match. Then they did a little bit of a review of the Bully Ray and Park feud, which was kind of neat because they actually started the show with this match. It was a hardcore match with Bully Ray versus Joseph Parks. And it was a pretty decent hardcore match where Joseph was being weak until an end. At the end of this match, there was kind of a reveal that happened where Joseph notices he's bleeding and snaps. But that was after Bully Ray, after all this hardcore stuff they went through, Bully Ray finally wrapped his chain from his wallet around his fist and punched Joseph Parks out. And then when Joseph Parks came to, he noticed he had this big gash of blood coming down his face, and he just snaps. And he gets angry, and he goes after Bully Ray, and then Black Hole slams him, and then he ends up, when he's sitting on the ground again, he's like, what happened? Like he's eventually gonna realize that he's playing two characters, it seems like to me. So yeah, that might be pretty cool if it works out.
Yeah, so it was interesting. TNA shocked us this week because they actually started off with wrestling, which TNA doesn't normally do. A lot of wrestling shows don't normally do that. They actually started off with a match. So we were quite happy with the way TNA started off. And the match wasn't even a bad match. It was, like Stacey said, it was pretty decent. Yeah, it looks like now he's starting to slowly show that he's really Abyss. So it's going to be neat to see where that goes. On to the next thing.
During the little breaks between matches, Sting looks at the aces and eights card hand left by some people that left threats, and he tears it up. And then they shoot over to Bully Ray, who picking tacks out of his shoe because during the last match he was the one that laid thumbtacks all over the ring. And he asked, who was that? I beat Joseph Parks, who was that? And
so, yeah, he's starting to realize that Joseph Parks is out of his mind.
And then we go to our second match, which is also a Bound for Glory series match. Now, as we said in some of our other videos, Bound for Glory matches, they're not quite, the whole system is flawed.
Well, actually, though, they said something that kind of made sense. So what they're going to make sure this time with the Bound for Glory series, I don't know if they did very well with it last time, but they're going to make sure everyone wrestles everybody. So if that's the case, then okay, then maybe this will come out being decent, but I don't know. It seems like a lot of wrestlers have had a chance to wrestle like more than one match, and some wrestlers haven't had a chance to wrestle any match. Like I've only
like,
seen...
for instance, in this match coming up, Samoa Joe, the leader in points, 37, versus RVD, who had 7 at the beginning of this match. And RVD had only wrestled like 3 times.
Yeah, so, and then, like, Samoa Joe must have wrestled several times. Which you're going to see kind of later on. There's a little bit of a pet peeve we have with this particular episode that they did that kind of made us not very happy.
But anyway, Samoa Joe versus RVD in this Bound for Glory series match. And basically RVD wins, so now he's at 14 points. It was a decent match, though, and it did pretty good. That's kind of shocked me that RVD did win, because I expected Samoa Joe to win and be higher in the points again.
Yeah, because they're kind of pushing Samoa Joe, but I mean, it looks like they're giving every wrestler kind of their opportunity, so it's not that bad.
Then Hogan talks about the Ace and Eights threat in the back, and then we go on to Kazarian and Daniels comes to the ring. And it kind of reviews a little bit of the match that AJ had at the pay-per-view with Daniels, and how AJ did the Styles Clash through a table to win on Daniels at the pay-per-view. Kazarian starts off congratulating AJ and says this is just the start.
And then we cried. We cried a lot.
Because we really
we were like
dance partners.
Yeah, we were like at the pay-per-view, we were like, this was the one good thing at the pay-per-view, where it was like, okay, this match was great. This is the end of it, right? You can't get any better than what you just did. I mean, maybe you can, but who cares? This has got to be it, because these two have fought for a year. It's over. It's done. Please get new dance partners. What they do? Oh, no, this is just the beginning. It's like, oh, God, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me. And it's like, please, stop, TNA, stop. You're making me cry.
Then Daniel says AJ is hiding facts and calls Claire out to answer a couple of questions. The druggy girl that AJ and Dixie Carter were supposed to be helping rehabilitate. AJ then comes out, and after an argument, Claire reveals AJ is the father of her unborn child. AJ walks out back. He's leaving. He's in shock or whatever. He bypasses Angle pretty much without even saying anything. Some interviewers running up to him saying, well, what's your reaction to all this? What? And he turns around to him and says, I don't know.
Basically admitting that, yeah, he did something with her. I mean, if you don't know that you're the father of the child, then that means yeah, so AJ Styles, it's so retarded.
You remember that episode of South Park where they did the wrestling episode?
Oh my God, yes. Oh wow. Yeah.
They stole the storyline from that episode.
They did. Oh my God.
But they did it better on the episode of South Park.
Now we just need some aborted fetuses. That'll work. That's maybe Claire's addicted to abortion. That's the next place they need to go. And she's like aborted every baby in TNA. So TNA wrestler. That'll be the next step in this storyline. Wow, South Park did such a better job at this. I mean, shoot, they were making fun of the WWE, and TNA is like, that's not fair. We want that storyline. So I don't know where they're going with this shitty storyline. Oh my God, it's horrible. Stop, TNA, please.
Then Mr. Anderson is shown getting ready for a match. And then we have a review of Zema Ion winning the X Division title. And the end of it where he's like saying all this is because I broke Sorensen's neck or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, Dakota Darso, I don't even know who this is because TNA has not built any storylines really around him much.
The legendary Dakota Darso. He's back in TNA. If you guys have missed him and you've been waiting for his return or his appearance or whatever the fuck this is, because I've never seen this guy before in my life, Here's your chance to see the legendary, what's his name?
Dakota Darso.
Dakota Darcy. I mean, Darso. I mean, Marcy. I mean, okay, where were we?
Anyway, Dakota was pissed off over Zima's disrespect towards Sorensen. So they have this match, Dakota Darso versus Zima Island. Zima Island beats him, wins the match, and then after the match, tacks his arm and says, "I'm not only beautiful, I'm also dangerous."
I got a confession about this match.
He's not beautiful.
No. I didn't even watch it. I mean, I heard it, but I was off doing other things at the time. So I couldn't tell you if this was a good match or not, because I was kind of thrown off by the legendary Dakota Darso and how I didn't give a shit about him. But, I mean, maybe he was a good wrestler. I don't know. You guys tell me that I missed a good match. You just let me know, okay?
And then Austin Aries comes to the ring to talk about being champ. His bragging was boring. Then Rude interrupts. And this kind of got interesting a little bit because Rude was fuming so much he couldn't talk straight.
Rude lost the title. He became entertaining. It was impressive. I was like, wow, that's all we need to do was strip the title off of Rude. Never give Rude the championship again.
But finally he calls him a fluke. This was just basically a time-wasting segment to us. Singh says he's been working out and is ready for Aces and Eights. And then Devon and Bischoff come out and tell Hogan that they got their backs. Then Angle declares how good he is and he'll beat Mr. Anderson. And then we realized that, we missed part of TNA last week.
Yeah,
we missed the first part because the timer on my VCR was set up wrong. And they switched times on us. We didn't realize it.
Well, actually,
but I guess
we had a power outage. We were set to the right time. We had a power outage. And then when you set it back to the old TNA time. And that's what happened. So,
yeah.
But we fucked up.
During the segment that we lost, the first hour, Madison Rayne had revealed that her crush was on Earl Hebner. And that was last week. So we finally found out about it tonight when they revealed it tonight. So what were you going to say about that?
What? It makes no sense. Absolutely. I guess I'm going to have to go back and watch the matches where she was coming out watching to see if Earl Hebner was even reffing. I mean, the storyline, I mean, it's like, what was it you saying? You were saying it's like they had something.
They had this storyline going, and I don't know what happened with the storyline. But then they were like, well, we have the storyline. We need to finish it off or something. And then it seemed like to me that they threw Earl Hebner in there. But at the same time, if I really think hard enough, a long while back, I don't know how many years ago, I kind of remember Madison Rayne.
No, Madison it wasn't Earl Hebner, dude. It was another referee. I remember that. Yeah, when she was part of the Beautiful People, she had an affair with one of the referees that helped... I think, them to win the tag title or something. But, but that wasn't Earl Hebner. And this whole thing, what bothers me about this storyline is, it's just like, Earl Hebner's been there the whole time, been like there since we started watching TNA. I mean, he switched over when we went to go see him live in Pikeville. That's the first time we realized Earl Hebner was even in TNA. And we were like, okay. And so he's been there for like a really long time, and it's now she's like having a crush on him? Really? I don't know. It's like, ugh. It could have been so much better, but it's stupid. Move on.
And finally we get to our fourth match of the night, Gail Kim versus Miss Tessmacher. And Brooke Hogan was in the announcer's table talking about the announcers during the whole time. Miss Tessmacher wins.
It was a good match. It was kind of weird, though, because Tessmacher won with an elbow drop off the top rope. It was like, you didn't even beat her with your finisher. That was kind of disappointing. But, yeah, it was a good match for women. It was a decent knockout match. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't anything special, though.
Then after that, we have a review again of the AJ and Claire thing that happened earlier in the show.
Damn.
And Claire is, in fact, saying that she has proof that AJ's the dad. Then we see Magnus brag that he'll beat Storm on a Saturday house show for Bound for Series Glory.
Bound for Glory series. You're bound. The Bound for Series Glory. Anyways, the Bound for Series Glory match, there's like several of them at this house show. And they were telling us all about this awesome house show. That's freaking great. When I can't even see it on TV. And then like we were pointing out, I was like, okay, so the only thing they mentioned about next week, they mentioned two things, and I'm going to kind of rush ahead here, but I just want to bring this up. They mentioned two things about next week. One, it's open fight night, which is good. We like their open fight nights. We love their open fight nights. But the second thing they mentioned is that they're going to have the main event be a non-title match between Rude and Aries, which is fine. But I swear, throughout this whole show, they were promoting this house show in Tennessee way more than they were promoting fucking next week's TNA. And we were just like, and they don't even, like, they barely announce anything for the pay-per-view, so they don't even care about the next pay-per-view. They're not even started, building up for that yet. So, I mean, really, this house show got so much attention tonight. You think it was like a main event pay-per-view. It was bad. It's like, I know there was at least 3 segments where they mentioned that house show. That like the announcers would mention it. Like the announcers were talking about it like throughout the night, this house show. And it's like, really? A freaking house show. A house show, really? And I was like, oh.
And here's another kicker in the balls.
What?
It's in Memphis, Tennessee. Which we could probably get there, me and you, from where we're at.
No, we can't, dude. That's
4 or
like
5 hours. Maybe.
That's like a 5-hour drive. I have work.
Well, this would be a Sunday. We'd have to leave early, like.
But then it'd probably be sold out.
But that's what I'm getting at. If we did try to go, it'd probably be sold out by when we got there.
Oh yeah. It's this Sunday.
This is the first we heard of it.
Yeah, it's this Sunday. So we would have to actually make a 5-hour trip down there to a show that's more likely sold out, but it's TNA. You never know. We might get in. But still, as the point is, they're building up this show that only people in Memphis, Tennessee are going to see. And even if you try to make arrangements to go see the show, it might be too late.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, TNA.
And I'll go on.
Yeah, we'll move on.
The last and final match of the night was a Bound for Glory Series match.
No, so you said it right. Bound for Series Glory match.
Yeah. Fifth, it was Angle versus Mr. Anderson. All right. One thing that pissed me off during this match was in the middle of the match, they went to commercials.
Yeah, like the match barely started.
And there was a long-ass amount of commercials, too.
All right.
Then they come back, and they show like 30 seconds of this match. And then they go to more commercials.
Like another, at least 2 minutes of commercials. And we're like... So by the time they get to end, they get to the wrap-up part of the match where they're now just exchanging finishing moves, blow for blow. Angle hits with his angle slam. Anderson kicks out. Anderson gets hit with the mic. Anderson gets hit with the ankle lock. He reverses it. Then he finally gets up, does the mic check to Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle kicks out, keeps his arm up forever. We thought he was stuck, but he finally gets up, and then he hits with another angle slam, beats Anderson.
It was a mic check reversal.
Oh yeah,
so basically a reversal finisher is what finished this match.
But it looked like it would have been a great match if we could have seen it. I mean, half the match, I couldn't tell you if this was a good match or not because, I mean, I'll tell you what, it finished strong, but I don't know what the rest of the match was.
This match reminded me of trying to play a match on the WWE games, man, where you're like, all right, I got to hit my finisher. He kicked out. I got to hit my other finisher. He kicked out again. I'm going for my finisher again. He reversed my finisher. Oh, shit, he pinned me.
Yeah, I know. It kind of pisses me off. But no, I liked the ending of the match. It was like, why so many fucking commercials? So that's my complaint. That's the only complaint I have about that match is I couldn't tell you how good the rest of it was because we didn't see it. Good +1 for the TNA audience who are actually there. You tell us. If you were at that show, you tell us. Was it a good match? Because we don't know.
Then Sting with the bat and Hogan wrapping his hands up in the back. When Rude comes barging in and says to Hogan, we need to talk. And after commercial breaks, Rude's finally told to challenge on open fight night when he went into there.
It's just basically, that's going to be the main event next week.
Alright, so the show ends with this segment. Sting comes to the ring. He calls out for Hogan. Hogan no-shows the first time his music plays. His music plays the second time.
Still no
with Sting looking around confused like, where's Hogan? The big screen comes on.
No, that's the third time. His music plays 3 times and then the big screen comes on.
Okay, well, the big screen comes on. And Brooke is trying to protect Hogan from these masked men who run out of the room as it goes towards
these masked men were like beating up Hulk Hogan. His star comes on and was like, shoot, get away, shoot. And these men are like, we better go. She said, shoot, go away. We better run now. And they ran for the hills when she was like, shoot, go away, bad news, bad. And they were like, oh no.
And they run so fast that because Sting tries to go to the back, but before he can even really get out of the ring,
these guys show up behind him.
They jumped in as well.
They teleported behind them. They were like, aha, we got you. We know secret routes throughout the whole arena. We were like, what the hell?
The only thing that I can see that could kind of make this Aces and 8 threat of all these people any good is if this was old wrestlers that are trying to come back, that before Hogan arrived, that they're trying to come back into the organization.
Yeah, that's the only way. If it's like the TNA wrestlers
and Curry, Spicy Curry guy, and all them.
Even if it's not them, just other wrestlers who were in TNA, and then when Hogan showed up, they slowly started disappearing. Because if you haven't noticed, half the roster in TNA disappeared after Hogan arrived. So if this is like them coming back and jumping them and trying to say, hey, look, you took our, back to the South Park story, you took our jobs, your jobs. If it's something like that, maybe we can go along with this thread. If it's just a waste of our freaking time, I don't know, man. TNA does these weird storylines that you have no idea where they're going, and then when you finally get to the end, you're like, that doesn't make any sense. So, who knows where this is going?
So overall, we give this show a 3. It didn't really earn no point. I mean, and it didn't really.
3 masked men out of 5. Three Hulk Hogan beatdowns out of 5.
And because I watched 2 hours of TNA, I get a Klondike bar.
You now know what he'll do for a Klondike bar. Well, that's our show tonight, everybody. Good night.